This is not a repeat of the last video. What's up, people? I just did my futures trade, and I am proud to say over the last 3 or 4 years since I've had my futures account open, I am 12 for 12 now. Maybe I should just trade futures for a living. No basing it on charts, fundamentals, nothing all except market sentiment. Now, interesting thing. We had our first shorting opportunity a few days ago. I don't even know what day today is. Today's Thursday, so we're talking about Friday. There was a little bit of weakness. We had some stocks that were the froth of the extraordinary run was coming out of some stocks. Like the PCX. And I was thinking this might be a good time to short. And I did a quick trade, didn't make any real money on it because I'm trading these small lots. And next thing you know, the stock's getting pummeled. So, keeping with that idea that there's going to be some froth coming out, and then we had the red F, which hit close to 10, and you know what I feel? How about the Matrix? Stock went from 750 right to 990. I mean, when it works, it seems like you have... What were you possibly thinking? That how come you don't make money every single day if everything works out so perfectly? When Red F broke 7.5, we all believed it was going to go to 10. Well, I don't know if you believed it, but I like saying we to incite this feeling of camaraderie amongst us all. We felt it, didn't we? You knew it. I knew it, you knew it. Anyway, but then it hit 10 and it was a good time to short. Obviously, you're not going to short it at the highest moment. And when it did get weak, I was telling people, make sure you don't short it on the first day. You'll have to suck up your pride and your excitement to try to catch the highest price on the stock like everybody was trying to do in NVIDIA. And with the NVIDIA, it's a good thing you guys were going small and then you added to the position later because you were so convinced that the stock was going to roll over. And I was with you. As much as the stock could have went to 30 bucks, rational thought is actually coming in. Oh wait, the stock was $15 and now it's at 25. Maybe we should take some profit. Wow, look at that. Rational thought is actually taking hold of the market. Incredible. Well, anyway, but then we had the Apple news. And when Apple reported those blowout numbers, sick numbers, retarded, blowing past everything, and the stock didn't immediately gap up 5%, 7%, 8%. And it not only did not gap up, but then actually dipped into the redness yesterday. There you go, sign number one. When the highest flying stock, the darling of this internet boom, app boom, you want to call it now, the mobile generation now, can't tack on a few more points based on those numbers, then it looks like it might be time to sell. So, when the Qs broke 57 yesterday, we were adding to the position. I say we, hopefully you were doing the same as I was. 54.20 was where this last move jumped off from. If this actually is going to be a sell-off, which who the hell knows? The Qs, and I was saying how the February 55s puts on the Nasdaq were at 38 cents, 40 cents. That is a fair value for the stock, okay? But I know, nobody pays attention. But let's talk about what we're doing today. I haven't mentioned AIG, right? Talked about how this was the retarded trade of 2011. How the stock might go to 80 bucks or $100. So right now I'm looking like a complete idiot. And you don't care about the Adobes, the Googles, the OCZs, the OROC Fs, the IPIs, the 975,000 other stocks that I was right about. Now we're going to focus on the negative. We're going to focus on what I was wrong about. And we're going to talk about what we're going to do about it. Because that's all we care. Because let's say we just met. You didn't buy the OCZ or the Red F or the NVIDIA or the this, that, and the other thing. You bought the AIG. And you're fucking pissed off right now. You're ready to jump right through the fucking screen, right? You want to punch me? Go ahead. Hit me right there. Oh, yeah. Give me another one. Give me, oh yeah. It's because that's what makes this whole talking head, talking about stocks kind of thing. There is no accountability. I have no responsibility. I have no way of being punished by giving you bad recommendations. So let's say you turned on the video and you happened to buy the AIG. And that's the only thing you know about. So right now, when the stock was around 58, you had one day of up, and now we've got the stock that's down sick amount of points. The sick thing is that we went counter matrix Skynet on this one, because it didn't make any sense to buy the stock, and that's why it was going up. Because the headlines, as we know, that the government is getting out of AIG, and on that news alone, it should have made the stock plummet. They're pulling out of the stock. Nobody's holding on. Just like the market. We're talking about microcosms again. AIG is proving me to be, how do I say? You understand where I'm coming from? It doesn't make any sense. It should have been going down before this. So what the Matrix did here apparently was convince us that it was going to ignore all that stuff. Didn't care about the government getting out. Didn't care about the issue of this new stock in the IPO. And it was just going to go up and it continued to go up. But then, boom, just like that, the Matrix felt us being trapped and has beaten the shit out of AIG. And then you look back and you try to analyze this move. Oh, that makes so much sense. If the government's selling out of their lot, the stock should go down. Now maybe I'm analyzing this completely wrong, and considering I was trying to go contra anti-matrix Skynet trade on this one didn't really work out too well. But again, remember what I was doing. We were selling near-term calls on the AIG. I know you weren't paying attention, but this is what we were doing. We were selling the near-term weekly options on the AIG at higher strike prices and buying the lower ones out in May. So we started buying those May 62.5s. And we weren't buying a lot because we assumed that there had to be a faux show bro involved. No stock's going to go from 30 right to 100. I mean, even though we've seen it. So we waited. And we bought one contract that first day just to get on board. Then we bought another couple of contracts on that $4 pullback. And yesterday we bought another contract. So today, keeping with that theory that AIG eventually will shake off all this, this will be just a fart in the wind, because this is the greatest bull market ever, the government-controlled bull market, all pre-programmed to go to Dow 20,000, right? Or are you starting to loosen, you're starting to get frightened? When the first down day in 6 months, we haven't had a down day like that, what, maybe August? September, October, November, December, January. 5 months? 5 months we finally get a sell-off, you're all nervous now? You should be. Because look at FFIV. That's what's going to happen. Am I suggesting that the bull market's over? Am I suggesting that it's time to sell all your stocks? What am I suggesting right now? I'm suggesting that it's a great time to be a trader. And all along, when I was buying all these stocks and trading longs positions across the board, what was I telling you? I was also still short those Qs, waiting for the day to load up. I added some more yesterday at 57. And I'm not covering these Qs. And the market might actually fight back again, as it always does today. But when I see the F5s and the eBays not being able to do anything, and the PCXs, and there's the laundry list goes on and on about stocks that just gave back a nice chunk of what they've made back. So you got to understand yesterday, and also what I said yesterday was when people thought, when the market was still down at 11:30, 12 o'clock, and we weren't down so much, but there was something different about it. When the selling pressure came in, the bids were leaving. That's a huge difference. And the only way you're going to know about that is coming into the chat room and talking to people that are watching the stock market as closely as we do. We saw, I don't want to be too self-important here, But I saw weakness, and also led me to the trade of the day, which was FSLR. 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 If you're not accustomed to how I talk about stocks, FSLR is FSLR, and we were looking for that stock to give a little bit back after its monumental 15-point move. Also, a 40-point move since Herb Greenberg told us that the solar stocks were done, the JKSs, and the list that he said of stocks that would be doomed. Doomed. And it all had like 50% moves, 40% moves, whatever. Can't criticize anybody for being wrong because everybody's wrong, right? Even though I'm working at an 85% ratio right now of wrong and right, all we're going to focusing on is the wrongness of what I did with the AIG. And don't forget the dry ships. Now, that stock sucks big time, big time. But we also addressed that this stock should be at zero. You understand? The only people that are holding dry ships up are gamblers, waiting to hopefully be in that stock when it starts to explode again. This zero. All right. But we have to address FSLR. I'll be right back. FSLR. So yesterday it was breaking 47. And I know that when I trade FSLR, and I've already banned that stock from the chat room numerous times. I said I was never going to trade it. But revenge is a big thing with me, and I need to get some revenge. So I'm thinking about shorting the stock. So I shorted some at 147. Quick break. Grudgingly goes down 146.5, and I add more. Then holy crapola, I finally say to myself, all right, we're talking about a $147 stock here, my boy. Don't just bail out trying to make 50 cents. Let's try to make the full 2 or 3 points that this thing's going to fall apart if it does move down. So then I added some more at 145 or 146. Then it broke down by 15 more cents, and then of course spiked all the way back up. And I'm thinking, wow, I am such a douche. But I also believed in this feeling that I had that we were about to roll over and get worse. So what did I do? I left my FSLR short out there and left the office. Yeah, no stop, nothing. Ooh. Otherwise known as coma trading. You do your trade, fall into a coma, see how it is. With shorts, that's been your death. It's been a death trade. But yesterday, there was all signs pointing to stock getting weaker. And lo and behold, when I got back to the desk, the stock was down about another 1.5 from where I left. I forgot what it was. And then I was talking to people in the chat room, and everybody in the chat room convinced me to hang on just a little bit longer. And you know what? I made an extra point thanks to you guys. I caught the short. My cover basically was about 2 or 3 cents off the low of the day. Very impressive. And what does that teach us? No idea what that teaches us at all. Because as much as you want to sit there monitoring your stock trades and putting your limits and stops and all that doodads and stuff and looking at charts, I knew personally that every time I watch FSLR, the bids, offers leave, they rip the stock back and forth, and by the end of the time, I always wind up getting the worst print. So I said, you know what? I know it's going down. I know. Which is stupid to even think, because we don't know. They could have got bought out while I was away at lunch. And then, boom, I'm down 20 grand. But I didn't care. I saw the bids, how they were fleeing across the board. I held on. And that, I also had percentages in my favor also. Considering we've gone up 5 straight months, maybe one day where the market actually follows through on the downside, could it be? That was yesterday. And now today is today. So we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do about this AIG. I'm going to probably look to buy a couple more contracts because I think the stock's still going to go to 100. All right. Bye.
I would much prefer Kroll.